Hi there, my name is Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor. You're watching me on NDTV. Now, if we want to defeat the virus, if we want an end to this pandemic, if we don't want any waves further in the future as well, our only way out is vaccination. We have talked about this at length on how, as much as we pick up in our vaccination, the lesser the chances of the third wave really get going. But there are only 3 vaccines which have got clearance or are being administered in the country. But there are several others which are in the pipeline. One such vaccine is this very fascinating vaccine called IkovD. Now, what is IkovD and why is it so fascinating and worthy of your attention? Because it is lots of reasons really. I'll go through that in this video with you. But number one reason is that it is the first needle-free vaccine. What does that mean? It means that you don't need an injection for this vaccine to be administered. It's not even the nasal vaccine as we've talked about in the past. It is actually like a band-aid. How you get hurt, you take a band-aid, you just apply it on your skin, and after some time it heals and you can just take it off. That's exactly how this vaccine is going to work. It's going to have the shot in very, very tiny microneedles. You can't even see them, and you just have to paste it and it gets absorbed between the layers of your skin. So that's an extremely fascinating bit about this vaccine. The other fascinating bit about this vaccine is that it is the first DNA COVID vaccine in the world. We'll talk about the tech in a bit as well. And the third really fascinating bit about this vaccine is that it is a second made in India vaccine. All right, so let's go through all of this step by step. So we told you that it is actually a patch vaccine, if you can almost call it that. You don't need an injection, you just need a patch. But you need 3 such patches because it is a 3-dose vaccine. You need all the doses on the first day, that's called day 0, then on the 28th day, and then on the 56th day. So one can say that while the advantage is that it can be administered very easily, it will be pain-free as well, it will need you to go back and get it 3 times. That also could, in a way, escalate the price. However, we're not sure about what price it will really be coming down to. Let's move on to tech now, which is very fascinating. We told you it is the only DNA COVID vaccine in the world. And why is that so not just fascinating, but really interesting? And it is actually a big sort of advantage with this vaccine. How does the DNA tech work really is that they take the DNA of the virus, take that part of the DNA of the virus which actually responds, which is part of the viruses, which will lead to your immune response, right? It does not take the whole virus, it just takes the DNA of the virus, it puts in, it has sort of a transporting vehicle, and it has a serum in which it will be put back into your body, and then that will tell your body that this is how you need to produce antibodies when the virus actually hits you. Now, because this is made in a lab and it is basically the extraction of a DNA, the good part about this, in fact the fantastic part about this, is that it can very easily be redesigned to any new mutants coming in. So the criticism with the, or perhaps let's not call it a criticism, the disadvantage perhaps with the other vaccines which have been made before the new variants coming in is we don't know how they're going to respond to these variants. But when it comes to the DNA vaccine, say you've taken the first dose and between your first and the third dose, there is a new really infectious variant that comes in. All you have to do is go back to the lab and your production system, tweak it, bring in the DNA of the new variant, and voila, your now vaccine and the second or the third shot of the vaccine is good to go and will take on the new variants as well. And while I'm saying this, why is this so easy? Because again, the advantage here is that it does not need a very It's easy to manufacture in a way because it does not need a very high level of biosafety level of at the level of manufacturing. Let me tell you what a biosafety level is and why I'm saying it's key. For example, take Covaxin. Covaxin, because it is an inactivated virus, basically a whole of the virus which is inactivated and then put in your body, you need something called a BSL-3 facility. But when it comes to the DNA vaccine, you do not need that high level of units to manufacture it. These are more in number and easily can be reproduced as well, which is just a BSL-1 level. So it can be tweaked easily, it can be produced easily and manufactured easily. That is the big yay moment with this DNA vaccine. And then let's talk about its production capacity. Isn't that what it will really come down to? And I, in the beginning, said the third thing is that it is made in India. Well, this IkovD is actually a product of a Gujarat-based company called Zydus Cadila. Now, Zydus Cadila has been working in the pharma sector for quite some time, and they have made the second made in India vaccine. Their claim is also that they will be ready to produce 120 million doses of IkovD every year. And in addition, with the possible tie-ups that might come in, they will add another 60 to 70 million doses, and they target to produce a capacity of 200 million doses. So that's the big claim that they're making right now. But because I have just explained to you the fact that it can be easily manufactured, the fact that it is all made in India, so there are no orders pending from other parts of the country, so they can really prioritize an made in India for Indian people vaccine. So that's really all you need to know about this first vaccine, which is going to be injection free, really needle free, just like a patch, just like a band-aid, you can put it on. And the most important bit, which I almost forgot to tell you, this vaccine is actually open and has been tried on people who are, and citizens. The trial has been done on 12 and above. What does that mean? That means that the trial was done on 28,216 volunteers, and these volunteers were 12 and above. That means this is the first vaccine where trials are already over on kids as well, at least those 12 and above. So the minute this vaccine gets a clearance from the drug controller, this will be the first pain-free, easily manufactured, like a band-aid vaccine, which will be available for the kids in the country. So these are some remarkable things that we really need to know. Pricing is a key area that we don't have clarity from Zydus Cadila just yet. We wait to see what pricing they will really come down to when it comes to negotiations with the government. And then, of course, the key question is going to be how soon they can manufacture. So that's it in this video. As always, we want to end by saying that lots of vaccines are in the pipeline, but the best vaccine is the one that is available to you. So go get your vaccination. Ensure that you, those around you, your family and your friends are also vaccinated and thus safe from the upcoming waves. I'm Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor. Thanks for watching.